Welcome to IELTS Listening. Today we will study IELTS 16, Test 3, Part 2, Career Opportunities in Agriculture and Horticulture. This section has 10 questions in total, including 2 groups of multiple choice and 1 matching set. These questions use 2 core skills, elimination and information capture. This classification helps you quickly find the key point for each question. This monologue is from a career advisor talking about jobs in farming and gardening. In the first part of the talk, we look at questions about job satisfaction. This part covers questions 11 and 12. Next, the second part talks about the work environment. This part covers questions 13 and 14. Finally, the third part is about matching specific information to different jobs. This part covers questions 15 to 20. The structure of this listening section is very clear. Questions 11 to 14 are distributed in the first 2 parts, while questions 15 to 20 belong to the third part. The questions follow the same order as the recording, so don't look back at earlier ones. Now let's move to the first group of multiple choice questions, questions 11 and 12. Questions 11 to 12. According to the survey, which 2 aspects of this company do employees like most? Options: A, the active lifestyle, B, the above-average salaries, C, the flexible working opportunities, D, the opportunities for overseas travel, E, the chance to be in a natural environment. Pause to answer. This is a multiple-choice double question. Strategy: verify each option one by one, listen to the full recording before concluding. Don't judge prematurely. Note that distractors often appear as mentioned then denied. Option A, the active lifestyle. The audio mentions employees like that the company encourages healthy living, with a gym and sports clubs. This option is clearly confirmed. Option B, the above-average salaries. The audio clearly states salaries are average, not above average. This option is denied. Option C, the flexible working opportunities. The audio mentions employees highly value flexible working hours, including remote work options. This option is clearly confirmed. Option D, the opportunities for overseas travel. The audio does not mention overseas travel at all. This option is fabricated and excluded. Option E, the chance to be in a natural environment. The audio mentions the company is in a rural setting, but employees like the company culture and benefits, not the natural environment itself. This is a concept swap and excluded. Questions 11 to 12, first correct answer is A. The active lifestyle is one of the aspects employees like most. Stamp drops. Questions 11 to 12, second correct answer is C. The flexible working opportunities are the other aspect employees like most. Stamp drops. Final answer, A and C. Next, let's move on to the multiple choice double answers section for questions 13 to 14. Questions 13 to 14. According to the speaker, which 2 are challenges of living on a remote island? A, increasing risk of accidents. B, being in a very quiet location. C, difficult weather conditions at times. D, the cost of housing. E, the level of physical fitness required. Pause the video to try it yourself. This is a multiple choice double question. We need to pick 2 correct challenges from 5 options. Strategy: check each option one by one, listen to the full recording before concluding, and don't judge early. Watch out for traps, where an option is mentioned but then rejected. Option A, increasing risk of accidents. When talking about remote island life, the speaker says there's no greater risk of accidents than anywhere else, clearly rejecting this. So A is a trap, eliminated. Option B, being in a very quiet location. The speaker says the silence can be overwhelming, and you have to be comfortable with that level of quiet. This is described as a challenge, so B is correct. Option C, difficult weather conditions at times. The speaker mentions the weather can be extremely challenging at times and describes storms and strong winds. This is clearly a challenge, so C is also correct. Option D, the cost of housing. The audio does not mention housing costs or related topics at all. This is a fabricated trap, directly eliminated. Option E, the level of physical fitness required. The audio says, you don't need to be super fit, clearly rejecting this. So E is a trap, eliminated. Correct answers, B and C. Eliminated, A, D, E, B is being in a very quiet location, C is difficult weather conditions at times. Now confirming the first correct answer. Questions 13 to 14 answers are B and C, stamp drops. Next, let's move on to the matching section for questions 15 to 20. Question 15. The question is, Fresh Food Commercial Manager. Please match this job with one of the descriptions from A to E. Please pause the video and try it yourself first. The key words in the question are Fresh Food Commercial Manager. We predict the recording might talk about the work environment or characteristics of this job. Pay attention to synonyms in the options. For example, fast-paced might match quick or busy. Let's locate the part of the recording about this job. The audio says, they operate in a very fast-paced environment with low profit margins. The staff there work hard, but they play hard as well. So if you have a sociable personality, this may be for you. The key phrase, fast-paced environment and low profit margins, directly match option D. Works in a fast-paced, low-profit environment. The answer for question 15 is D. The recording clearly describes a fast-paced, low-profit work environment, which perfectly matches option D. Question 16. STEM, Agronomist. Match this STEM with a letter from the options list. Options: A, teamwork skills needed. B, overseas experience needed. C, experience not essential. D, good communication skills needed. E, relevant degree needed. F, deep agricultural knowledge needed. G, leadership skills needed. H, data analysis skills needed. Please pause the video and try to match it yourself first. Keyword, agronomist. Expect the audio to talk about requirements for an agronomist. Be careful with option C, experience not essential. It might be a trap because many job descriptions mention experience. Located in the information block. The audio says, there are good opportunities for the right person to quickly make their way up the career ladder, but a deep knowledge of the agricultural sector is expected of applicants. The signal word but introduces the key point. A deep knowledge of the agricultural sector is expected. This matches option F, deep agricultural knowledge needed. Also, this sentence implies experience is essential, so option C, experience not essential, is incorrect. Question 16 answer is F. The audio clearly states that an agronomist needs deep agricultural knowledge, which matches option F. Option C, experience not essential, is a trap because the audio implies experience is important. Question 17. The item is fresh produce buyer. Please match it with options A to H. Pause the video and try to match it yourself first. The keywords in the STEM are fresh produce buyer. In the recording, we need to find the sentence that describes this job. Listen for synonyms of buyer and fresh produce. Located at the beginning of the recording. The audio says, a leading supermarket is looking for a fresh produce buyer who is available for a 1-2 month maternity cover contract. Here, fresh produce buyer appears directly without any synonym. The signal word is looking for. The answer for question 17 is A. The recording directly mentions fresh produce buyer and describes it as a 1-2 month contract, which perfectly matches the description in option A. Answer stamp drops. Question 18. Statement. Garden Center Sales Manager. Options. A, frequent travel required. B, must live locally. C, accommodation provided. D, teamwork needed. E, inventory management. F, gardening knowledge. G, accommodation available. H, must live in the region. Please pause and try it yourself. Keywords. Sales manager. Expect the recording to talk about the duties and requirements of this job. Listen carefully for words related to living or staying. Located in the part about the sales manager, audio says, you will be visiting centers in the region to ensure their high levels of customer service are maintained. This post is only suitable for someone who is prepared to live in the region. The signpost, prepared to live in the region, directly matches option H. Note, option G, accommodation available, is a trap. The text only says prepared to live in the region. It doesn't say accommodation is provided. Question 18 answer is H. The audio clearly says prepared to live in the region, which matches option H, must live in the region. option G is a trap because the text does not mention accommodation being provided. Question 19. The statement is tree technician. Please match it with options A to H. Pause the video and try it yourself first. The keyword is tree technician. In the recording, we need to track this anchor. Expect to hear something about work experience or training courses. Located in the information block, the audio says, a year's experience would be preferred, but the company might be prepared to consider someone who has just completed an appropriate training course. The key is the part after but, which tells us that even without experience, completing a training course is acceptable. This matches option C. Question 19 answer is C. The part after but in the audio clearly states that someone who has completed a training course can also be considered, which matches the meaning of option C. Question 20. Farm worker, options. A. Free transport. B. Free accommodation. C. Free meals. D. Free uniform. E. Overtime, pay. F. Training opportunities. G. Competitive salary. Please pause and try it yourself. The key words are farm worker and perks. We expect the recording to mention different job benefits. We need to listen carefully for the description that matches each option. Watch out for synonyms. For example, competitive salary might match option G. Located in the information block, the audio says, perks of the job include the possibility of renting a small cottage on the estate and the chance to earn a competitive salary. Here, competitive salary directly matches option G. Note that option E is a trap because overtime pay is not mentioned. Question 20 answer is G. The recording clearly mentions competitive salary, which perfectly matches option G. Now, let's summarize the key strategies for this section. Strategy 1. Strong distractors and modified meaning. The recording often gives a seemingly correct answer first, then uses a transition word to deny it, or uses modifiers to change the meaning. For example, in questions 11 to 12, the recording first mentions flexible working opportunities, but then uses but to show the real answer is being in a very quiet location. Strategy 2. Delayed information and limited modifiers. The answer often comes after the key word in the question and is often limited by modifiers like not or only. For example, in questions 13 to 14, the recording first mentions chance for rapid promotion, but then uses not to deny it, showing the real answer is intensive work but also fun. Strategy 3. Weak pronunciation and connected speech. The answer word may be spoken very softly in the recording or linked with the words before and after, making it hard to catch. For example, in question 15, the word cover in 1-2-month maternity cover contract is spoken very softly in the recording and can be easily missed. Remember, when doing listening questions, be careful of strong distractors, pay attention to delayed information, and get used to weak pronunciation. Next, let's summarize the key vocabulary for this section. First set of words. Flexible working opportunities matches don't want to be stuck with a 4-0-hour week. Being in a very quiet location matches. They're often in pretty remote areas. Second set of words. Not a permanent job matches 1-2-month maternity cover contract. Local travel involved matches visiting centers in the region. That's all for this section. I hope these strategies and words help you. See you in the next section.